is the role of Freemasons in the globalization subject? The Freemasons are an organization which have their roots in ancient Israel, Banu Israel from the earliest times. The Freemasonry movement, however, was hijacked by the Europeans who put on the clothing of Judaism. European Jew. Yes, Sheikh Sadi, here we are. This is something for you. It's a gift. The Freemasonry now has been hijacked by them, and they're using it as a front organization so that they can stand behind. So you attack World Trade Center, but your fingerprints are not on the crime. You're behind. You attacked the World Trade Center in 1991, and you put Sheikh Omar Abdurrahman behind bars, the blind sheikh. But the Jewish fingerprints are not on the crime. You attack the U.S. mission in Tanzania, the U.S. mission in Kenya, Tanzania and Kenya, and you believe that we are blind. We know you did it. You attacked. But you blame Osama bin Laden for that. But guess what? One day, يَوْمَئِذٍ تُحَدِّثُ أَخْبَارَهَا بِأَنَّ رَبَّكَ أَوْحَى لَهَا. One day the earth will speak, and all your lies are now going to be exposed. And on that day we'll have confirmation for what we now suspect. What role does the economic boycott of Israel and some American companies have on the return of the Khilafah? It is something that the Muslim community should be taking seriously. Strange people, Muslims. What they should not be doing, that's what they're doing. And what they should be doing, they don't do it. Never in our entire history as a people have we ever used trade as a weapon. Never. Never. It is our enemies who use trade as a weapon against us. In Medina, an economic boycott against us which lasted 3 years. Did we ever reply and respond with an economic boycott of our own? No, we never did. Why? لا تأكلوا أموالكم بينكم بالباطل إلا أن تكون تجارة عن تراض منكم. Trade should be conducted in such a way that there is mutual benefit, says the Quran. So when you impose an economic boycott on somebody, you're hurting yourself. You're allowed to trade with your enemy, because in trade there's mutual benefit. The only thing that is prohibited is to trade with the enemy at times of war, in weapons of war. That is prohibited. So an economic boycott on the United States of America, and you're not going to drink Coca-Cola, well, you should not have been drinking it in the first place. Water is better than Coca-Cola. But leave that aside. We've never had an economic boycott in our own entire history. This is the first time I've ever heard of an economic boycott. I know about Ronald Reagan and his economic boycott on the Soviet Union, but not Islam. No. So from my perspective, it is wrong to engage in the use of trade as a weapon against anyone.
Concerning that question, just tell them what context.
Right, inshallah, Sheikh Shadi is here and he'll take on that subject of the detention center, inshallah. What happened to the army from Isfahan? I know about the army from Khorasan. The hadith is that when Dajjal attacks Damascus, and the Imam is inside the masjid and Dajjal is outside, Dajjal will be followed by 70,000 Jews from Isfahan wearing their Jewish shawls. That is the hadith. What this hadith indicates is that the state of Israel would no longer be ruled at that time by the European Jews, but that rather Banu Israel, who today are second-class citizens in Israel, they call them the Arab Jews. Banu Israel would have taken over the state of Israel from the European Jews. But this has already started. Where's the evidence? The evidence is that last year sometime there was the election for the presidency. I think it was last year. And the European Jews put up the prince himself. Who is he? Shimon Peres, the prince himself of the European Jews. And Banu Israel, the Arab Jews, or the Sephardic Jews as they're called now, they put up a person whose name nobody ever heard before. Moshe Katsov or something like that. And guess what? Katsov is an Iranian Jew. And he defeated Shimon Peres, and he's now the president of the state of Israel. For the first time in his history, an important post in the government of Israel is held by a non-European Jew. It's the beginning of the process which will eventually fulfill this hadith, that Dajjal will be followed by 70,000 Jews from Isfahan wearing their Jewish shawls. What do you think will replace paper money in the future? Come for my lecture next Wednesday, inshallah. Gog and Magog have freed from between the Caucasus Mountains. Would these people be Caucasian people? The Khalifa sent an army sometime around the year 50 Hijri. Sorry, not an army. This is in all the books of tafsir. He sent an expedition to try and locate that barrier which was built by Zulkarnain. That expedition returned with the news that they located the barrier. And it was lying in ruins. So if you're waiting for Gog and Magog to come sometime in the future, brother, keep waiting. The barrier is lying in ruins. And companions of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, they themselves gave the testimony that they went and saw with their own eyes. They located the barrier and it was lying in ruins. Where was it located? In a pass between the Caucasus Mountains. So when you hear the term white Caucasian male, there's something behind that to look into. White Caucasian male. How deep and what sort of oppression do you expect during the interim period when Israel becomes the ruling state in the world? This is where you must help me. I am doing what is called a structural thought, macro thought, all right? Concentrating on the macro image. And I praise and thank Allah who has helped me with it. But the micro thought is where you can now come in, because you got the talent. And you can send me an email now to help me. That look, at the micro level, this is what we can now expect when Israel becomes the ruling state. This is what we can expect politically. This is what we can expect in terms of the economy. This is what we can expect in terms of monetary problems. Okay? And as you send me your emails with this micro-analysis that you are doing, as I lecture around the world, I can be benefited from it. And I can pass this on to others. But I am not in a position to devote my time and thought to this micro-analysis, because I'm still working on the macro-analysis. Please correct my information. I thought the United States joined World War II because of the attack on Pearl Harbor, but of course that's correct. Whoever doubted that? I never said anything in conflict with this. We're talking about the United States joining First World War, not Second World War. If we have to wait for Imam Mahdi to ensure that all of Islam is completely implemented. Then what do we do about our brothers and sisters being slaughtered around the Muslim world? The Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam said that the Imam is a shield in which he protects, and they fight behind him. Surely we must implement the leader first in order to protect the Muslims. I said that the jihad is already in force in the Holy Land. We don't need a fatwa from anyone. And I said that no one can stop this jihad, not in Oslo or not in downtown Washington. This jihad will continue until the Holy Land is liberated. But we engage in this jihad with the absolute assurance of the victory that will come. There is absolutely no doubt at all that this jihad is going to be successful. Secondly, the jihad to liberate Khorasan, because it is from there the army will come which will liberate the Holy Land. That jihad is already in force. And we already have, alhamdulillah, we already have shuhada who must be smiling and joyfully happiness in heaven now. Elsewhere in the world, however, if you engage in offensive jihad, not defensive. Defensive jihad is when you are being attacked and your wife is being raped and your children are being slaughtered. You fight. It is better to die as a man than to live as a rat. So anytime you're being attacked and you have no room for a strategic retreat, none. You're cornered, you fight. If it is possible for you to retreat, you must retreat. However, offensive jihad, for the purpose of liberating territory, for the purpose of establishing Allah's rule on earth, that, I said, is not possible anywhere on the face of the earth today. But I also said, listen, I wish I could repeat it 1,000 times. If you differ with me, who is stopping you from launching your struggle, your revolutionary struggle, to liberate Australia and establish the Islamic State in Australia? Who is stopping you? I'm not stopping you. If you feel that this can be done, go ahead and do it. I am saying you'll be a failure. You'll be destroyed. But this is on the basis of my understanding that the world order in which we live today is the world order of Ya'juj and Ma'juj. You do not share this with me, and you feel that it is possible to wage a revolutionary struggle to establish the Islamic State anywhere on the face of the earth, please go ahead and do it. Upon the death of a Khalifa, this is the hadith I was quoting. Same hadith he's quoted here. And he asks, does this hadith not indicate that the Khilafah will be restored before the return of the Mahdi? But this is the hadith on the Mahdi. Upon the death of a Khalifa, people will differ among themselves. Then a man from the people of Medina will flee to Mecca. People from Mecca will approach him and give him the bay'ah, while he dislikes it. This is not in Sahih Muslim. The bay'ah will be given to him between the Rukn and Maqam, near the Kaaba. He will divide the wealth among the Muslims justly and implement upon the people of the Sunnah of their Prophet. Islam will spread on the earth. He will be for 7 years and then he'll die, and the Muslims will pray upon him. Who is this man? Who is this man? Imam Al-Mahdi. This is Imam Al-Mahdi. Yes. All right. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.